Hi guys, Terry here. Welcome back, I guess. And I wanted to give you a deck profile of my Sakuyamon deck that I took to the Salford Regionals. I got 42nd place, which highest placing Sakuyamon, only Sakuyamon, but highest placing. And I think the deck genuinely performed very well. So before we get into the deck profile, I just want to give a few shout outs. Namely, one, my cameraman, Marcio, or K-Beads on YouTube, look him up. He helped me test the deck a lot, like with the list a lot, even though it took him a lot of convincing to say that I'd play Sakuyamon. I'd like to shout out my partner Thea for always being there to support me. I'd like to shout out all the members of Fanboy 3, like the best testing group around, best locals in Manchester, probably best locals in the UK, don't at me. And just to let you guys know what the matchups are, I played against Salford round 1, which was a loss. I played against Nume, which was a win. I played against Fenrir, which was a win. I played against Mirage, which was a loss. I played against another Nume, which was a win. And then I drew with one of our team members, Emily, on Bloom.
Notably, if you won against Gallant, your run probably would have gone differently because we built the deck to fight meta.
Yeah, so like I think genuinely all the Nume I played I think was a pretty easy-ish matchup because it's what we prepped for. Fenrir was a surprise, so maybe next time if you think you're going to be playing a lot of Nume, or maybe a little bit of Fenrir, more meta matchups, maybe you can give this a try. BT15's a dead format anyway, try new things.
The Mirage loss was also to Mini Kill, right?
Yeah. If you want to check out Mini Kill, he's on YouTube as well, definitely a good content creator, please feel free to do so.
Alright, let's get into the list.
Alright, I like going normally from the level 6s, but for the eggs we'll just go with the 4 Vixion. Not much to be said. It's realistically the only egg you play in Sakuyamon. Anytime you play option 2 cost or more, you draw 1. This is how you get your cycle. You generally generate a lot of advantage from this card, but this is also technically why your Mirage matchup is awkward, because drawing more cards is typically bad, but I wouldn't change it for anything else. So I like to go from the 6s because these are the win con of the decks. So we played first 3 Kazumon, 2 Sakuyamon main mode, and 2 EX 2 Sakuyamons. So first of all, you might be thinking, well, there's more Kazumon, so it's not really a Sakuyamon. Technically a Sakuyamon in its name by the text, it's fine. But we picked 3 Kazumons because this card just lets you, as we did the domain expansion of moving wider across the board without having to really commit much, just by playing any option, getting to spit out like a Daumon or a Taumon or any of your 4s or 3s just helps you keep the board presence to keep that pressure up.
The Kazuhamon slide.
The Kazuhamon slide. Thanks for Andrew for that. But definitely this was a really big, important piece because it's just the thing you want to see early to help build your board, and then you would then move into either the maid mode or the Sakuyamon to keep control of the board. So the maid mode is really good because it gives you the pseudo recovery. You can play like a lot of your plugins without having like meeting their color requirements, which comes up in certain situations. Just being able to recover is very important in more aggro matchups. It also means that if you've done the Kazumon slide enough and this is just here, you can just digivolve on top of this for 2, getting additional value out of the body that you had on board. It's just definitely was a really good card. And then we moved on to the Sakuyamon. I wanted to play this sometimes a bit more, but this is how you maintain control, getting the unsuspend of any of your Digimon for a bit more aggro, or just continuously getting that 3000 DP anytime an option is played. Is just really good at clearing little bodies or continuously chipping away. Generally, I think the level 6 lineup was perfect. I really can't complain about it. So these are just 7 level 6s.
You're welcome.
All right, big man.
I told him to play 3 Kazuha.
All right, he did. Anyway, for the level 5s, it's pretty simple. We played 4 Daumon and 3 Taumon. Again, this is more of a conscious choice for what the meta is. Daumon being on evolving and on play to return a 6000 DP or less to the hand has been really very important in this matchup because you can typically use your DP reduction hurdles to reduce anything down to a suitable amount. Kazumon spits this out, and then you can bounce back that threat. Potentially, like with Nuemon, you don't trigger any of the on deletions, so you put them back in terms of advantage. And then the Taumon is just here because playing Eureka is very important. Getting as many Eurekas as possible is very important in certain matchups, especially things like your Deva's matchup, because getting to play multiple Rikas, to play multiple plugins just to clear bodies has been very useful. And then the main reason these are all here is that they have the beautiful inherit of whenever you play in 2-cost option or more, reduce something by 2. These, as many of these you can get on board, is very important, especially as the new main matchup, because you can continuously keep popping their guys. Even if you get an on deletion, sure, you can just hopefully clear the board from that state. Again, I was really happy with these 7 level 5s.
Is there a reason why we were on 7?
We were just, so the thing with this list is we just had to trim down a couple of things. We played a bit greedier to fit more useful options in, as you'll see. Spoiler alert, it's trainings, but in this deck it's insane, as we'll get on to. For the level 4s, we play 4 Yokomons, 3 Cubimons from EX2, and 2 BT10 Cubies. So this was only the smaller point of contention. Like, 4 Yokomon is important. Getting on-play blocker is insane. Just being able to actually have defense without your defensive plugin is really nice. And again, it shares the inherit of the -2. The 3 of the EX2, genuinely, it's a toss-up for me between which one I wanted more. This, the one Digivolving effect, generally useless. You'll probably bottom deck 3 pieces, but again, we wanted to maximize on as many DP reduction inherits as possible, so this one has it, so you might as well play it as a 3 of. And this Cubimon is technically one of my favorites in the deck, because just being able to cycle like 2 cards and draw 2 off pitching a plugin, or getting back your plugins from the trash is really nice. Like, especially with the Kazuhamon, you can like Kazuhamon spit out the 3, search, Digivolve into this, get back a plugin from your trash, swing, get Rika. It just gives you a lot more advantage to the grind game. The Sakuyamon can recur your plugins, the X2 one, but just having more recursion in certain matchups when you're struggling to see your plugins through the deck is very important. So generally, there might be a world where I would maybe change this over to this, but again, this is all sort of preference.
Also, the notable thing about the Yoko and the Duomon is that they're blue, which the blue
will come up sometimes for my. If you know me, it's my favorite color, the favorite plugin. But the 9 level 4, sorry, were pretty good. For the level 3s, I think it's again pretty standard. We play 4 of the EX2, 4 of the BC10, and 3 of the EX4. Again, these 8 are your searchers for your tribe and a Rika, searches for a yellow tamer, basically only Rika, and a plugin. Some people maybe would have cut down on this and maybe played one more of this, which is, it's on play, situational, can come up, it can stun 4,000 less DP Digimon, which can come up, but I wanted more of the DP reduction inherits at all points of time, because as I said, it's very important to help clear boards. So I was kind of happy with having only 7 memory gain inherits. Typically, you only really want that memory gain later on in the game because you can extend your plays, but early on you want to apply that pressure and reduce things. So we played 11. Again, a bit more of a greedier lineup. I would normally prefer to play like 12 rookies, but we need to fit more cards in.
All right, that's pretty much it for the Digimon, right?
Yeah, pretty much it. Then we'll just do the Tamers. Pretty standard. 4 Rika. No more, no less. I've not seen a lot of lists that want to try to play like there's like Tai and Kari or like any other different yellow tamer, but like generally speaking, you can't play those for free. You have to invest a lot of effort into playing them. You don't want to rely on hitting them on security. Rika is the playmaker of this deck. Being able to play plugins for free is just very useful. You're triggering all of your inheritables. You're getting to do like low commitment investments. So like you can swing with a Renamon because it triggers for anything aligned, to like Digivolve up, play a pause plugin, shrink anything down. Generally, the more Rikas you see on the board, the better it is. And this is the only tamer I think I'd want to see up until like BT17 comes out.
Will we get the Sakuyamon Masterclass in BT17?
If people like the profile and willing to look for more Sakuyamon content, I'm more than happy to. The most important part of Sakuyamon, technically, is the options. So we'll start with the plugins. We'll start with the standardish one for me, which is 3 pause. Pause is insane. The reduction by 6, beautiful. The underrated effect, I suppose, is that your opponent's Digimon can activate the when Digivolving effects, so it allows you to freely swing into boards, so not really having to worry about an ace, which is again very important in like your Deva matchup. just being able to go, all right, cool, go into your guy, you're doing nothing, just is so important. There was a world where I considered playing 4, but 3, we needed to play it like 1 utility option, and 3, because it's recurable, it should be more than enough. We play 2 defense, so this was another sort of tactical choice. So for those of you who don't know, defense plugin basically gives you blocker, reboot, and can't be destroyed by card effects until the end of your opponent's turn. It's really good in certain matchups, like my Fenrir matchup. This was really important because I could always have a blocker, get the early aggro, unsuspend, and their Fenrir could not pop my guy, so that denies them the extra aggro, allowing me to live to hopefully clear their board on the crackback. We also played it because we considered there were a lot more Beelzemons, which didn't happen, but just having that deletion protection has been very useful, and generally the blocker and reboot is very important. Again, so one of the weaknesses of this deck, if your bodies get cleared, it's so hard to come back from. So by having reboot, at least making sure your guys aren't vulnerable by battle, as well as not being deleted by card effects, it sort of insulates your plays. Generally, I think the 2 is really good, and sometimes the security effect of just revealing the top 3 cards, playing any 4 cost or lower that you've hit, can come up. Like you can hit the Yokomon to get a random blocker out of nowhere, which is insane, or hitting any of your rookies to get additional searches just to find more pieces is really good. I think I'm very happy with this one.
It's also for the Leviamon matchup. That was the main thing.
Yeah, sorry. The Leviamon matchup was the other thing. I didn't come across it. But again, being able to protect yourself against Levia and just keeping your stack is very good. Move these ones over. So the kind of controversial one, I guess, is we only play 1 Digivolution plugin S. Why would you play 1? Let's just kind of skip ahead a little bit, because we're playing 4 physical training. Physical training is effectively this, but this is better because it gets us search, it gets us reduction, and this deck is literally one of the most insane decks to play a plugin in. You're playing it for 1, you're getting a draw additional off of it, like you're potentially triggering all of your inheritables. Like there are many times just playing this off of Kazuyamon or playing this off of the maid mode for free, just getting you that additional advantage. You just slowly snowball where your opponent can't come back. This was genuinely the best card of the deck, and I really feel if you want to abuse trainings, this is the best deck for it. The 1 Digivolution plugin, like, again, serves similar purposes, but you still needed 1 because there's some situations where you need to swing, use Rika to like digivolve, and this is the only way you can do that. Again, you can once you see it, you can always get it back off the QB or the EX2 Sakuya. So like, I genuinely think this was the correct ratio, and this hopefully will help some Sakuyamon players really rethink their ratios, because I think we've been stuck in playing 3. It's the best one. It's the best one, but sometimes you need to find room for more cards. And then the only other plugin I play is High Speed, because I am a scared man, and not having jamming makes me sad. With all of your like level 6s being 11k DP threshold, swinging into like, I don't know, Devas, occasionally Mirage, just anything that has a 12k or above, you can't really afford to lose that advantage. But in addition, the unblockable can be really useful. Like against some a new May player, they had 3 blocker inherits, didn't matter, I kept getting to swing and chip. I'm very happy to play this as a 1 of, at least for now. BT17, you get barrier, so you can make room to cut it, but it was really good for this tournament. And then talking about the last card of the list, it was 1 Megalospark.
This was a last-minute decision.
Yeah, so this was a Purge Shine before, which was just the global minus 3k to all your opponent's Digimon. Again, it was seemingly really good against Nume. You just clear all their small bodies. Even if they float, they'll be immediately DP reduced again. But it was like, that felt I was being too targeted, like I had to consider other matchups, and Megalospark is just really useful. Being minus 8 pretty much clears every ace, every level 5 ace, which is very useful. The extra 2k DP threshold matters for like being able to clear a Mirage in 1 go, or like anything higher. And then the 8k DP lasting until the end of your opponent's turn, again, very useful. Like this and Pause are like very similar. So I guess this is like my 4th copy of Pause as well. Genuinely, I don't regret playing this card. Anytime I saw it, I was very happy. And that's about it, yeah.
Alright, so that was the Sakuyamon deck profile for BT15.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments below. If you want to see more Sakuyamon content or more general yellow content, I'd be more than happy to. And if that's all, thanks for watching.